All right, hello. Welcome to Jenna's Tea Emporium episode. Oh, your number. Nice. This is my youngest, Tamila. You gonna say hi?
Hello.
Guess I should get in the camera. Okay, so today we're gonna talk about Tamila about basketball. She is the hoopster, although both of my kids have played basketball since they were little. She is currently still playing basketball in college. So we're just gonna kind of talk about that, especially with March Madness going on. Women's finals is coming up. When is that? Is that tomorrow?
Monday. No, the boys play. Oh, it might be tomorrow. The boys play today.
Okay. So what perfect timing to talk about her basketball experience, so on and so forth. And we'll just kind of go from there. So she actually started playing basketball and soccer around the same time. She was, I think, we had 7 years old. You have that picture? You want to show the picture?
6 or 7.
This is her first basketball. And she started in like a rec league. Yeah, that's her. She started in a rec league. And actually she was on an all boys team. So she's played with boys pretty much almost her whole childhood, I would say. And then soccer, same thing. So she was 6 when she started soccer. And then obviously different, they're different seasons or whatever. So 6 when she started soccer, 7 when she started basketball. And like I said, she was on the all boys team. And she played on the younger team of her sister, because her sister was on the rec team as well. So she's been naturally talented. You know, she's one of those people that just like good at whatever she does. So annoying. So yeah, do you remember playing anything when you were little?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, I remember playing Mr. Mike's team with like Andrew and Alex and Duke and all of them. Learned their little sister too. I remember it all. And then when I got older, like around 9 or 10, I had played on another team.
Oh yeah.
Coach Saber or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah. And
that had more girls.
Yeah, I had another girl on my team, and
Yeah.
everyone else was boys. So yeah.
And
But it was
isn't
his
that-
daughter.
Was
Or-
it? No. it
No,
wasn't.
no. But he had a son on the team though.
Yeah. And I think, isn't that when you really started becoming a PG, or?
Yeah, that's
Is that
when
when
I
it started?
started being point guard. So I was like 9.
Something like that, because what, 2012? And then we left 2017. 36, so 17. Yeah, we're on 12.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, that's how basketball started and soccer started with her. And then we actually moved out of Pennsylvania and moved to Utah. And that is actually, that's right, you did training too. You did training with that one girl now.
I mean, I've
Gosh, I
always
can't
been
think
a
of her.
guard, but I started really becoming PG when I started training. Like,
Yeah, that girl was training you and
Like
and
4th
Tay, I
grade,
think.
4th, 5th grade.
Yep. So she got a little bit of training. She was not in AAU in Pennsylvania because I could not afford it. And then we moved back to Utah in 2017. And I got her onto another rec league called, what was it? What was the jazz?
Junior Jazz.
Junior Jazz.
Everybody played Junior Jazz.
Yeah, and obviously just because we were new to the area, well, I should say new back to the area. So she got on Junior Jazz, and yeah, that was, she basically was a superstar because she's so far advanced on that team. Yeah, and people would always come back to games and just talk to her and say how great she was and a good player and blah, all this stuff or whatever. It was crazy. Like, it was so, and nothing against it, but it was like, it was too under advanced. Like, she was so far advanced than they were. So anyway, she actually got, I will say, scouted. Somebody's dad actually saw her playing, and his daughter played on an AAU team. And so he got us in contact with the AAU coach, and then that's how she got onto her first and only AAU team. Well, no, I guess she did play for that. So, and it was called Retro. That was
Salt Lake City Retro.
yeah. So, and that's when she really became the PG, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you kind of remember how that came about? Like when you first started going there?
I just had
How
the
did you
best
feel?
handles.
How did you feel when you first went there? Because obviously it was a different environment. Just the people that were.
I mean, I guess I really didn't feel no different because I had already been in school. Like,
Yeah.
so I knew kind of like how people functioned, but the girls were just different because I didn't hoop with girls. So starting to hoop with females was kind of like, it was definitely an adjustment. But they were cool people, so I wasn't really tripping.
And why would you say it was different than the boys?
They was just soft.
Right.
Boys are like super competitive, like always trying to get to the rim, always going to be physical. And girls are kind of, they were like, they're just more timid, more like safe keep, like don't talk trash. No, nothing.
Was you talking trash that young?
Bro, yes.
Okay. So it definitely was a difference because again, like I said, she has been playing with her boys a good, what was it, 4 or 5 years then maybe?
Yeah.
And until she came to an actual all-girls team and an AAU team. So they welcomed us or whatever. It was good. How was it for you to start learning to really start being like a PG? Because that's when it really started for you.
I think I enjoyed the process. Like, I always been like the leader type of person in general. So being put into that aspect in the basketball frame it was kind of just like a fit for me. Like, it was no like drastic change because like in my outside life, I'm already like a leader, so peers, classroom, whatever. So being able to be in control and lead my team, it just was a perfect fit for me. Like that's where I knew I was supposed to be on the floor.
Okay, I assume you enjoyed being in that position.
Yeah, I mean, being PG is stressful at times because everything's your fault, but yeah, I did enjoy it.
Okay. So she was on that team for quite a while. I will say there was, what would you say, a lot of ups and downs with coaches, players, players' parents.
Yeah.
How did that affect you? Like, did it bother you? You just try to ignore it? You didn't understand it? How did that make you feel when there started to become issues within the team with teammates and coaches and players and stuff?
I mean, as a kid, it made me feel some type of way, just in the aspect of like, what did I do to y'all? But also being the way that I was raised, it was like, if you don't got haters, you're doing something wrong.
Right.
So I kind of just took it as like, it's an aspect for me to get better, and like obviously there's a reason that it's happening, but I did think a lot of it was bull, cause like, bro, I was just here to hoop. Like, I just wanted to play basketball without all the drama and all the extra stuff with parents being involved and ups and downs with coaches and all that. Like, I just wanted to hoop, but at the end of the day, like, stuff got resolved. Things changed and everything like that. Things got better, but I really was just there to hoop. So that's kind of just the mentality I had to keep, was like, I'm here to get my job done. I'm here to get better so that I can be where I want to be one day. And this kind of was how I had to take it in, even though like it did affect me and like sometimes affected my game, especially with like getting in my head and stuff. But
yeah, because you had to work on a lot of, everybody would always talk about body language, right?
Yeah.
And you would always show your expressions or whatever, and so they would always get on you about that or whatnot. So yeah, it was a lot. It was a good experience, though, I think. I'm glad that she was able to actually get on AAU because she was able to travel as well. I mean, obviously the cattiness and the unnecessary drama, neither one of us like. Because, again, it was unwarranted, any of it. Like she said, she was just there to play ball. But it did come with a lot of unfortunate negativity for her. The coaches, actually, we got really close with. We had somewhat been a family with, and then that went south too for no reason, basically. So unfortunately, again, it was great that she was able to play, but it also unfortunately came with a lot of negative stuff too, whatever too. But you know, us being who we are, we just try to find the positive in things and keep it pushing and keep it moving. Like you said, God put you into situations for a reason. And you may not know what it's for or whatnot. But yeah, so that was with AAU, and then that, she still was playing soccer too at that time. She was on a rec league at soccer too, again, excelling extremely well in soccer as well. She didn't have much drama with soccer though.
Nah, my soccer team was lit. We had the best practices. We was always chatting. Like, it was straight good vibes.
Yeah.
Like, it was competitive too. Like, everybody did want to try. They wanted to be better. But yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
soccer was fun.
Great coach too. He was a really nice guy.
What was his name? Weston?
Yes, Weston.
Shout out to Coach Weston.
Yeah. So soccer was way different for her. But yeah, again, she excelled a lot in soccer as well too. So again, it maybe counterbalanced it, I guess, maybe. So you had all the drama in basketball, and then soccer there wasn't. But it was great because it was off season, so you play soccer and then you go into basketball or whatever. So she always was doing that. Still excelling in school as well, of course, because student athlete. I guess my question is to you, like when you got started after all that, and then you got towards high school, why did you decide to still, because let's say this was a big conversation with us because she never played for a school. So I was at the point where I was like, you want to continue to play both sports? Do you not want to? Like, what are we doing here, right? Because again, it's like, do you want to just focus on one or you still want to do both? So I had let her make the decision whether she wanted to play both sports or she just wanted to focus on basketball. So do you remember why you wanted to play both?
I know I've always loved soccer, like,
yeah,
and plus, like, keeps you in great shape. It made me hella fast, like,
yes,
it's always something I enjoyed because being good with your feet and your hands, like, that's just a win-win.
Yeah.
And plus, I've been playing it for so long, I've just always enjoyed it, like, especially like the team like aspect of soccer, and just like it literally like a team. Like, you got your strikers, you got midfield, and you have defense. Like with basketball, like every person has to play like constantly. Like you have to play both. But in soccer, you really get to choose what you want to be. Like if you just want to be a striker, you ain't got to play a single look at defense unless Stoddy's like right in front of you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just always enjoyed soccer. Like it was always just a passion of mine that I wanted to continue to do. I had always initially thought that I would just play basketball in high school because that's what I really did want to further my career in, knowing that like there was more possibilities in women's basketball than there were in women's soccer at the time that I was a freshman. So that was one of my thought processes, but it was something I loved to do. So I was just like, I'm gonna just do it anyway. Plus the coach was recruiting me heavy, like as a freshman to start varsity. It was like, why not? Like not a lot of freshmen are out here doing that. Might as well. Plus it was something I loved to do. So yeah.
And what position did you play in soccer?
I was left and right wing, and so striker, and then midfield. Sometimes I played defense.
She scored all the time. That's all I remember.
Left and right striker.
Okay. So then obviously, so again, she didn't play in anything in the lower level school. So high school came around. She decided she wanted to play both sports, which again I supported her. Whatever. So like she said, she started varsity for soccer her freshman year. And it was intense, and you gotta realize she's not small, but she's not big, right? So, and they're like, it was a lot of shoving, pushing. Like it was very
beefy girls out there.
Yeah, very much so. And she still did her thing or whatever. So I think it was it maybe your 5th game in, maybe?
We had 2 or 3 games left in the season.
Oh,
so.
was you okay?
Yeah.
I thought it was maybe sooner in.
Yeah.
And yeah, so they were at a game.
West Jordan, to be specific.
West Jordan, Utah, at their high school.
The high school you went to, actually.
No, I would have went there. If I would have stayed in Utah, I would have went there. And she just planted her foot, went to make a move, and down she went. And the blood-curdling scream could be heard probably in many
Africa,
states.
bro. For real.
I'm the type of parent, though, like, I don't immediately, like, run out there to my kid. I never was like that with either one of my girls.
Bloody noses and all on the
yeah.
porch. Nah, she's fine.
Yeah, I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not that parent that's always like, like hovering over my kids or whatever. And so I just, I was on the opposite end of the field watching her, and I was just like, okay, well, she's down, she'll get back up.
6-inch heels.
My heels. And I was like, she'll get back up, whatever. And she wasn't getting up. And I was like, ooh. So I walked over to her, whatever. At this point, like, she's like blood-curdling, screaming and yelling and crying. I think all I remember her saying is, it's my ACL, I'm done, whatever. That's all she was focusing on the whole time. They eventually had to bring the golf cart out, I think it was.
Yeah, they had to get the trainer.
Yeah, so they had to get the trainers or whatever like that. And, you know, I'm still trying to stay positive. Like, it's not your ACL, so we ended up having to go to the clinic.
Urgent care.
Yeah, urgent care. And we went there and they took x-rays, I think it was, right?
Yeah.
And they didn't find anything with the x-rays.
No. I
Right?
get an MRI.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that was the following
Because they were
week.
worried if I had dislocated a bone or broken a bone.
Right.
That's why they had me get x-rays at urgent care.
Yes. So then I think the next week we got our MRI, and that's when the news came that she had tore her ACL and MCL.
And meniscus.
Well, they didn't know about the meniscus yet until they went into surgery, remember? He was
No,
like, yeah.
they had said I had torn my meniscus. They didn't know how bad it was
Oh.
until I went into surgery.
Okay. So
Yeah.
ACL, MCL, and meniscus.
And a floating bone.
Oh, and a floating bone.
I wanna
So
ski it.
she just obliterated it. So yeah, what was your thought process after that?
Death. I mean, when it first happened, my first thought was basketball, and that's like what I remember saying was that literally was my first sentence was "Mom, basketball," and they was carting me off.
Yep.
But like it was just an abnormal accident, to be honest. Like I had been pushing the ball up, I went to go cross the ball, I had planted my foot, and it didn't help that we were on a uneven field, but I just remember my foot planting and hearing like the loudest pop ever, like sound like a gunshot, and just screaming. That's what I remember. And then when we got to urgent care, and you ran me into a door. Let's not skip that part. She pushed me with a wheelchair and she hit my leg that I had just injured on a door.
It wasn't intentional.
Whatever. And yeah, so then I was walking fine after like 2 weeks, so I kind of felt a little better. I was like, nah, it's just, it's gonna be like I sprained something or I just tore a PCL or something not major. And then I got the news and like my world kind of just fell apart. Like,
Yes.
yeah, the news of ACL, MCL, and meniscus, I was like, am I ever gonna be able to play again? Because I've heard of this injury. Like I know a lot of people that have torn their ACLs, like professionals, etc., athletes. I think OBJ tore his like the year after mine or a few months after me. So it was just world crushing. Like all I could think about was if I ever play again. Like I kind of was like, well, I don't care about soccer anymore. I'm gonna be able to hoop because this happened right before my freshman season was about to happen.
Yep.
So it was kind of it was just super disappointing to me because it was like I was the freshman. Everyone was looking forward to coming in, playing with like someone who was like a sister to me. So
Yeah.
plus my AAU teammate, we were both coming up in high school, and like people had a lot of expectations for us coming into our freshman year, and then for me having to sit out my whole freshman year of basketball, it just sucked a lot being on the sidelines watching your team win and lose without you, and people always saying they wish they had you on the floor, and like everyone just saying their condolences and asking how you are, and like having to put on a fake smile like, oh great, physical therapy's going great when you literally just want to like die.
I think, and then I don't remember when, but excuse me, we had decided at that point that no more soccer. We were going to be done with soccer now, and that she was just going to focus on basketball. So she had her surgery,
October 10th.
and yeah, she was under for a while. And then she had to do obviously rehab and PT. You know, there was no time frame really as to when she was going to be able to be back. She had a great surgeon, great doctor. He had dealt with a lot of this, he said, with a lot of girls.
A lot of soccer players, yeah.
Yeah. And he was very adamant that wanted to make sure that he did the best surgery or whatever, took the best. What did he take, your patella tendon or something?
Tendon.
Yeah, from the other one. And then he just wanted to make sure again
No,
that
from the same knee. He took my patella from
the
same
front?
knee. Yeah,
Oh,
I had a
okay.
patella tendon graft.
yes. And he just wanted to make sure that she was going to come back strong, you know what I mean? And it was out for enough time to make sure she was rehabilitated enough. So she was out for, a while. Like, is that what it was? Because I remember we went back on June 2021 was when we were going to hope to see if she was going to get released. And we went in there and she was not.
No.
He said another 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So that was crushing to her. And as a mom, it's hard to see your kid go through that, especially how passionate she is. So it was difficult. She had a difficult time with the surgery. Yeah, it was rough to see her in that. Like, she was losing her mind. The amount of pain that she was in and stuff. Like, it's not a no joke surgery. It's some major stuff. And it's a major recovery time. So when you see those girls out there, I mean, like Juju, that just happened to her, like, you know, she can feel their pain, right? And she's been there, done that type of situation. So she has a lot of sympathy and empathy for them in that situation. She did, like, eventually she got released. I think it was, oh, okay, I wrote it down. Yeah, August 9th. 2021 is when you got finally released. So you figure that happened on
Almost
September
10th is when I got injured.
And then she got released finally on August 9th. And she did start doing some training. We had actually, through her AAU people, had met I met a guy named Brandon, and he actually plays overseas.
Thomas too.
Yeah, and a guy named Thomas as well. They actually started working with her slowly after she got released, and to start doing training, whether it was just, you know, shooting while she's standing or just slow movements or whatever like that. Yeah, we got a ton of those videos. We were looking at those. She did get a little emotional when she was looking at them. She said, I looked like I felt so defeated.
I hated life.
Yeah, she definitely, again, it's rough. And then she just really started working a lot with Brandon. You want to go ahead and talk about Brandon and who he is to you and Pookie? Pookie.
Yeah, B is like, B is like an older brother to me, but he's also like my best friend. I started training with B a little kind of at the same time as I was with Thomas. I think B was kind of just more available than Thomas because Thomas had a little more clientele at the time. But B was just someone that never gave up on me. Like, not that B has been through like a major injury like that, but he's had his like ups and downs with injuries, and he had obviously played overseas and in college as well. So he really just taught me basically, I had to relearn everything, had to relearn how to walk, how to relearn how to run, how to play defense, how to shoot. I had to relearn everything and to trust my body all over again. Like, I remember training days where I physically, like, I could not move, like physically not being able to lift up your left leg and you're telling your brain to go and it won't go. It was just extremely frustrating, but like Brandon never gave up on me. He always he was always there, even on the days I literally just half-assed everything, and because I was so frustrated on not being able to do things that I used to be able to do at 100%, that now I had to learn how to do it at 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. But yeah, B's always been like my go-to. Like, he's the one that brought the joy back of the game to me, like brought my love back from everything that I've been going through.
I would say that you guys started off slow. B wasn't used to training girls.
Yeah, he was always training dudes, and like I have obviously been playing with boys for my whole life, but it was different dealing with the emotion aspect of I'm not a girl that just came to get trained. Like, I just came off not being able to walk for 4 months, so it was definitely a challenge for him. But even after conversations we've had, like, it's helped him tremendously with like even himself as a player and just as like a man in general. So it was definitely an adjustment for both of us.
And he's very chill.
He's very mellow. He's very calm, very down to earth, and like I came with very high strung emotions because I had just came off from my life ending to having to learn everything again.
He was very patient. Me and him would talk a lot too, because again I would try to help him understand, because obviously she's my kid, I know how she is. But yeah,
I remember a day he was like, she's just so angry.
Yeah, or like I just don't know what to do.
She's just so frustrated.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just learned how to walk the way he does.
But he's been so patient. And then I would say maybe 2 summers ago is when you really when you got close with him.
My junior summer.
Yeah, and she would work out with him really, again, really hardcore during the summertime. And I would really say this last summer, No,
I think it was my sophomore summer that...
When it really started working out with him?
Yeah, because my junior summer was going into my senior year. So
Yeah.
it was my sophomore summer, because then I had my junior season. Yeah.
When it was just strictly him that she was working out with.
Yeah.
And then obviously, like I said, this past summer going into her,
So my senior summer.
Yeah, your
going
senior
into my
summer.
freshman year of college.
yeah, they got really, really close. Yeah, I mean, they were working out several times a week.
Sometimes every day.
Yeah, early in the morning.
7 a.m. sharp.
He has his own business too, where he trains clients too, or has like,
He has a lot of clientele with training kids in Utah,
Right.
camps, etc. Going to coach other teams. So,
yeah, so he would invite her to the boys' camp. She'd be the only girl there. So bottom line, he has been a huge, huge part of her life and part of her success. We are so blessed to have him. I don't think he really understands how much he really means to her and to me. Or maybe he just doesn't want to because it's too much emotion. Who knows?
I think he knows. Like I'm pretty sure. No, because I remember I gave him a gift. I think after my sophomore season when he was leaving to go to overseas again.
Yeah.
And I had like wrote a note basically just telling him like how he really did save my life. Like
Yeah.
so. He
And
knows.
Well, and again, the love of basketball back for her because, you know what I mean? It's like, again, she then goes into train with him and then goes back into the high school, and it's just a whole bunch of drama with the high school again, with the coach. And so she's been through all that stuff again, not only in AAU, but it was also the same thing in high school with parents and teammates again, and all the hateration she's been dealing with when it was unjustified. Like, she just wanted to hoop. She didn't do nothing to nobody. She's a great teammate. But we always say, you know, everything happens for a reason, right? So God puts you in these situations for a reason, right? She is extremely, extremely strong. And there's a lot of stuff that she's dealt with, which I'm sure a lot of hoopers can maybe possibly relate to. But it's been a lot. It's been a lot for what she's dealt with. Not only the injury, but just dealing with coaches and players and parents and just all the hate and stuff like that. So like I said, going into her high school year, she had a really good summer with Brandon. They really got probably the closest they've been. She got a new high school coach, which was a family friend that we had knew. So at least she didn't have to, it wasn't horrible, right, for high school for your senior year with him as the coach?
Yeah, it wasn't horrible.
Yeah, it could have been worse, right?
Yeah, it's been worse.
Yeah. So we were grateful for him too. That was just kind of shout out to Coach Justin, Coach Jay.
My guy.
And he has been actively involved in her life for a while too, because he would come watch her play games too and support her too. He's been really good to her as well too. So she graduated. I know. I would say, would you think your high school career was really what you wanted it to be, or
Hell no.
no? Why not?
Hands down, I should have been a top 10 player in the state of Utah, but things just didn't work out that way. I was constantly put down, constantly put in a box just to make someone else look good. But it is what it is. I played my role to the best of my ability, and people still saw me for what I was. People saw all the work that I put in, like knew what I could do, even if I wasn't allowed to do that on the floor in high school. Because, yeah, like I said, I just played my role. There was no point of trying to fight back, especially being the only black girl on your basketball team. Like, you're already being looked at enough, so it's like, I was just trying to play my role to get out. That's really what I was trying to do. My senior year was obviously a little better. I had more freedom to do as I please, but once you have something drilled in your head for so long, it's kind of hard to break that habit. But I am really thankful to Justin for coming in and just allowing me to be free my senior year and do as I do as I wanted to. But on the offensive aspect, like, I've always been able to do what I want on defense because it's one of my strongholds. But offensively, I've always been held back, so it was nice to have that my senior year to be able to be a little more open. But regardless of whatever happened in high school, like, God always has a plan for me, and like, obviously I got to college and got seen, et cetera, had offers. So regardless of whatever happened and everything like that, a lot of things are political in Utah, so you ain't got the bread, you know, I don't think they're gonna go your way, but I was blessed regardless for the people that I had around me that supported me.
Yeah, that's true. Do you remember when you went to that, after you came off of your injury, when you went down to that camp?
Dixie camp?
Yeah.
Or Utah State?
Oh, yeah, it's Utah State. Now, were you nervous? Were you
Hell no, I was excited.
Yeah.
I mean, my body felt off. Like, I definitely felt weird hooping because I was down there with a few girls. There's this one girl named Cam, she's a tough player. And it was just like remembering that I used to move that way, and now having to like relearn everything. It was really hard going from like top to bottom. Like
Yeah.
it was rough just being able to
Adjusting.
see what everyone else could do, and then
With no
knowing
care.
that I can't. Yeah, like knowing that I can't right at the moment because I had just got released and everything like that. It was stressful, and it was definitely hard. Especially I was hoping against some girls too that were like from California that were being scouted by like USC and stuff like that. So it was frustrating for me, but I was just excited to be back doing what I loved, regardless of where I was at.
What
Like,
about your first like preseason game back? Your freshman season,
sophomore year?
Yeah.
Oh, I was good by then. Yeah, I was like, hell yeah, season's finally here. Lit.
Yeah. So as we talked about, she does put in a lot of work outside of the gym as well. Whether it's training with B, doing her own thing, lifting weights. Like she's very much locked in. This is literally, what she wants to do type of situation. So she's always willing to put in extra work and so on and so forth. So she ended up, she did talk to a lot of coaches that were trying to recruit her. She did end up going to Southwest Virginia Community College, which is in Virginia. Did I say that right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I didn't say it right. In Virginia. So that was a JUCO D2.
Yeah.
And yeah, another shit show. I guess, what is your outtake of the situation? Like, obviously you went there thinking that what was going to happen, and then what were you told was going to happen, I guess, is the first thing.
My outtake honestly was like,
Well, go with what you were told. Like, what did you think going into why you wanted to choose that school?
for one, I chose that school because the coaches were consistent. They were interested in, like, they basically, like, I know coaches will tell you what you want to hear, but they just, to me, it felt like they weren't BSing. Like, I knew they needed a point guard, and it was basically like them telling me, like, we need a point guard to come out here, lead, drop 20 and just bring the team to where we know the team can go. And so I was like, bro, like, I have been told, like, you can come here and just hoop. Like, there's nothing else we want you to do but just go out there and play your game. So I was like, oh, sign me up. Where's the contract?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I got lied to. Things were not any way that I was told they were gonna go. But like I said, I took away from it at the end of the season, like, God put me here for a reason. I've been through everything I've been through to be here, put in this situation, because everything that happened, like, really, you couldn't bother me. Like, bro, I've been broken to the point where, like, I've been trying to be broken down to a point that it was way exceeding what these coaches was even trying to do to me. So it was kind of just like a brush off my shoulder, like, okay, bro, like, y'all tried it, like, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, because it started with, as you know, she's also got a serious shoulder injury from her first preseason game, or was it?
It was like
it was
third
third
or fourth preseason game.
in her senior year. So we're very adamant when it comes to her health, and we were very intentional when we asked questions, because her health is something that we obviously take very seriously, because again, she's had serious injury. So athletic trainer was just worthless. We didn't even have ice baths. We didn't have anything. They did take her to a physical therapist, which diagnosed her with her shoulder, but when you're in a small city, like, she couldn't do chiro like she used to do in Utah. She was going to a chiropractor in Utah. Like, she just didn't have access to anything either, and it just made the season 10 times harder for her. But you can go watch her game. She still gave 150% every time she was on that court, whether she was hurting or not. So again, and I always told her, listen, had you not been through all the stuff that you went through in AAU and in high school, I said, could you imagine going to this community college and then dealing with the head coach? And I said, you would have crumbled. Not only being away from home for the first time, 14 hours from home. I said, you were there, I think, and I do believe she was supposed to go there. I do believe that's where God wanted her to go. And I guess we feel like God wanted her to learn a lesson or learn or whatever, right? Which is what everything is a learning lesson. But had she not gone through all of the nonsense with high school and AAU, she would have never been able to make it through college. So again, she played a role. She did her thing. She did her thing out there. And, you know, that's all we can ask. That's all I've ever asked of my kids, to give 150% every time you step on the court. She's a great teammates, though. You guys,
that was my girl.
Yeah. So that was the added bonus.
We have our ups and downs, obviously,
Yeah.
like any team does. I had to deal with some BS in the beginning of the season with one teammate. But like I said, like I've always been very good at what's you call compartmentalizing and everything. Like I can separate basketball and you want on the court, you're my teammate. Like point blank, we're gonna be here to get a job done outside of the court. If our morals don't match up, et cetera, like I'm good off your bro. We don't got to talk. Like we're here to get a job done. We're here to win, and that's exactly what I had to do. But I did have some good teammates, you know, good giggles and laughs and memories and everything. So
for sure, and they always say a lot of the times those guys will last forever with you, whatever. So I'm grateful that she had that too, because they had to live together in the same house or whatever. So she was like the mom over there, which was funny.
Oh,
so yeah, that was definitely an added bonus, and she's definitely grateful for that too. So yeah, so now she is back home. Finishing out her first year of college. She's finishing out that. She did really well with her grades as well. So
on a roll, people.
So as we say, student athlete. She's home now, finishing school, and she's gonna actually go back to Utah again and train with Brandon again and all that stuff all summer. Yes. When he comes back from being overseas. So she'll get to do that all again all summer and work on stuff and, you know, collaborate with him, I'm sure, and talk about her first year experience really at college and get his input, so on and so forth. Like we said, her coach Jay, Justin, is in Utah too, so she'll be able to, he's been really helpful too. So we're again, now, future. What is the future? Where are we going? What are we doing next?
To be determined, chat.
Yeah? What you want to do?
I definitely think I'm going to do another year of JUCO just because plans did not go out how I expected them to go out. And with my physical side of being in extreme pain all season because of no lifting and no treatment, et cetera, my body's definitely not where I need it to be. I personally feel like to go to the Division I level offensively wise, defensively wise, down packed. But I'm definitely good with going another year at JUCO to Division I JUCO to just keep elevating my game to where it needs to be and where I know it can be. So just going back this summer, grinding like with me and B always be doing, getting work in 24/7, getting my strength back up to where it was, and walking in my faith and going where God's calling me to be. So that's our next plan.
Yeah. So like I said, one day you'll see her probably on TV.
Y'all gonna see me on ESPN now. Remember the name.
Yeah, God willing, like I said, with God by your side, you know, you can do all things. So yeah. So that's her basketball experience. Oh, you're so kind. Thanks for me. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. You know, again, hopefully, you know, there's a lot of little girls out there, whatever, and little boys, whatever. Life is not always going to be sunshine and lollipops every day, right? But as I tell my kids, you know, you put in the work, you get to where you want to be, and it'll be so much sweeter, right? And everything happens for a reason. So, you know, all kids need to know that, you know, not everything's going to come easy to you. You got to work for it, you know? So we'll leave you on that. Work for what you want to, and then
be great.
Be great.